Welcome to the CEO Challenge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and as always, here is my husband, Noel, who has been my lifesaver tonight, even though I was ready to fire him. Hello, Reclaim Vintage, Olga, Maya. Hello, let's see if I'm going to get your name, Marimar. Hopefully I said that right. Brittany, hello. Y'all, I don't know if you were here for our opening show. We had such tech issues. We don't run on phones or camera. We don't run on a phone or like an iPad. We run on cameras that hook through computer systems, and Whatnot made a ton of updates, and like none of our systems were talking to each other. So we did not have our opening show. So as soon as our raid comes over, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But you guys, we are on the final. This is the finale closing show of our CEO Challenge for tonight. We do have one more CEO Challenge left, and I will talk about that in just a little bit. We are waiting for Forgotten Memories to come on over with the raid. In the meantime, let me get a giveaway started. This is for a CEO affirmation card. That is what our current giveaway is. We do have a larger giveaway coming up in a little bit, so it'll be the next one that we run. So hello, Lori. You guys, it has been a night. I can't even tell you. Yeah, it has been a great night, even with the technical difficulties of us starting at the beginning. But, you know, that's life. Sometimes it happens, but particularly when we're doing things live. You never know. You just need to have a backup plan. And I think that raid's about to come over here. I'm getting a signal from over there. There they are, Forgotten Memories.
Welcome in, Raiders! Grab your hats and step into Zoe's Treasures, where the relics aren't cursed. They are for sale.
Hello, Southern Charm. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy. I can't. Here we're supposed to be doing openings, and I totally just blew mine. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy. As always, here is my husband, Noel, doing our graphics. I was just talking about technical difficulties and tonight and what's happened. It has been, hey, Coastal, it has been crazy. So first of all, the huge thank you to Mel and Stella Cards, who, when I could not go on, I had the major technical difficulties, and I'm like, hey, can you go on right now? And she's like, yep, just give me a minute. And she jumped right in there. So thank you so much. And then she picked up, and she even did all the opening. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. I'm going to go over the challenge a bit, but really, I don't need to talk a whole lot about it because you just saw 6 amazing sellers demonstrate the whole challenge. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. But right now, a CEO affirmation card is running. We're going to do another bigger giveaway when that one's done. We're only going to be on just enough time to do those 2 giveaways, and we're going to head out. Again, this is not a big selling show for me, so I try not to sell in these. We're just here to kind of start it when it works. We start it and then end it. This was our 3rd week in the CEO challenge, and it was, I think every week gets better and better. I have seen personal improvements of our sellers throughout just these 3 shows. And I know they're diligently working throughout the week, practicing different things in their businesses. And I love seeing the growth each week. Now we have to set realistic expectations. This is a, month-long challenge. So only so much can happen in a month, but I really think things are happening. Thank you so much. On the microphone. So yes, everybody is growing. And I mean, business growth is usually slow. So if you think about it in a month, if you just see an improvement from the first day you started to the last day, that's what we're looking for. But we're doing this through 4 challenges. So there's 4 specific challenges. Each week is a challenge where we're looking at certain parts of the businesses, right? The first week was the clarity challenge. And that was the week that all the participants picked a metric that they are measuring thank you so much. They picked a metric that they're measuring the whole month, whether that be their average order value or their return buyer, whatever it is. They got to pick a metric that was meaningful to their business. And then they also had to pick an operational weakness, something they need to work on in their business throughout the month. And they've been monitoring this, and we're going to hear reports next time. We're going to hear about that. Then week 2 was the discipline challenge. This one may seem like a really easy one, but it was actually kind of difficult because it is no emotional price dropping and then standing strong in your strategy. So one, you have to have a strategy in order to stand strong in it, right? And then to really think through your pricing. What is your cost of goods? What is your price? And how do you stay strong in your price and not just start like, caving in and lowering prices and changing things on the fly just to make people happy versus what you need to do to make your business be strong and healthy. So that was week 2. And then this week, week 3 was the structure challenge. Now you just saw this play out, but all of the participants had kind of 2 main things they were looking at this week. The first one was to build a system. Find something in their business that needed a system, needed something, whether it be a closing routine, pre-show routine, something in their shipping, whatever they needed for their business. So this is all about really taking a step back and looking at your business and saying, what do I need? And it doesn't look the same for all of us. And that's why you'll see that each participant had different things they are working on, because what may be easy to one person doesn't come easy to the next. So it's really about analyzing your own business and improving your own business. So one was to build a system. Then the other one, the next challenge they had for this week was to write an intro and to practice the intro. This is one of the things that so many Whatnot sellers don't see the value or like they don't realize the value in. Cole Mary, you got that CEO card. I can't talk tonight. The tech issues kind of put me off. You got the CEO affirmation card. There we go. Words are hard for me tonight. All right. We are going to do one more CEO affirmation card, and then we're going to do a Ledger to Leadership book, so I can talk to you guys a bit. So, writing an opening. A lot of people don't realize how important this is and how important it is to have a really good opening when you start your show. I've talked about it a bit, and I'm going to talk just a little bit about why that's so important. When people come into your room, particularly at the very beginning, we spend so much time doing little notifications like what I have down there at the bottom of the screen, our back calls, right, to get people into our room. But then once they're there, how are we welcoming them? What are we saying? Think about it. It gives people time to come on the show. You need to speak a little bit because you don't just hit go live. Okay, this is for sale. It's a warm-up. It's a greeting. And I always like to make it, use this analogy when I'm talking about an opening. Pretend that you're going to a party. Thank you so much for your purchase. Pretend that you're going to a party and you don't really know a lot of people, right? You may know 1 or 2. And you walk in the room. Do you just want to walk in the room and have nobody say anything to you? Or do you want to come into this party and be like, hey, Tracy, welcome in. Guess what? We're playing some games over here. There's some food in the kitchen. Barbecue's out back on the deck. Help yourself. Have a drink. Chill. You want to come in and you want to be welcomed. You want to get the lay of the land. You want people to let you know what's going on. It puts you at ease. That's the same way with our shows, right? When people come into our shows and when we first start our show, we want to tell people what's happening, who we are, what we sell, what kind of experience they can expect that night, why they should stay. Sometimes that's an iffy one. And then what our pricing and our shipping structure is for the night. We want to answer all those questions so that they don't ever have to think, oh, what am I doing here? Should I hide in the corner with my cell phone? No, you want them to come in and be like, okay, cool. That's what we're doing, right? You've been talking more at the beginning. It is such a good practice. And you watch a few of the sellers who you feel are successful. A lot of them will talk to you a little bit at the beginning, and having an opening does that. And it can be natural. Then what you do is you take that opening and you kind of shorten it up a little bit. And now you have a raid train greeting, right? You have something that you say that comes very natural to you because you practice it all the time when the raid trains come in. So when raids come in, raid trains, when the raid comes in. So think about your opening. I challenge all of you, not just our participants, because they did wonderful tonight, but I challenge all of you, if you're a seller, think about what your opening is. What do you do? I mean, you heard me, my normal one, if you've been in my shows. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy. As always, I'm here with my husband, Noel. He's behind the scenes running our cameras and doing our graphics. Today, we are selling Glowy glass. Everything starts at $1 and shipping is $4.50. Short, sweet, to the point, but they know what to expect. Then as people come in throughout the show, at various points, you're trying to welcome them, you're trying to talk to them, but you can say, oh, hey, I just noticed a lot of people joining. Thank you so much. I'm Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We're doing dollar starts and everything ships at $4.50. So you take the same thing and you just shorten it up. And it kind of keeps that flow and just puts them at ease right at the beginning. You're answering questions before they even have time to think about those questions. So that was a challenge, and it's not as easy as it looks. The other thing I wanted to talk about with our sellers, this has been an unwritten challenge. Oh, hold on. We have an interruption, people. Here, go ahead.
Thank you, Miss Colmary. Hello, this like and everybody else.
The other thing that has been the unwritten challenge that's been happening, and the participants are catching on really quick. They're like, wait a minute, this is I see what you're doing here. Is every week they're supposed to be selling. They don't have a lot of time, so it's not a big selling show, but the selling is practicing these techniques that we talk about. But they also have to talk to you. They have to tell you what's happening in their business. That's part of this, is being vulnerable and being open and kind of saying, hey, this is a challenge I'm having and this is how I'm handling the challenge. Combining the talking and the selling is super difficult. It's not an easy task. But guess what? We are live. We are doing live selling. We have to really master that task of being storytellers, weaving things together, talking while we're selling. So kind of there's been that secret underlying challenge throughout the whole thing of, how do I do this? And tonight I really saw such drastic change from the last two. I mean, this is only the second selling one, but a drastic change where they were like, and keep up with the chat. Yes. Tracy, you got that giveaway. Thank you for being here. All right. This giveaway is going to be for our Ledger to Leadership.
Congratulations.
So that is what's going right now. This is our accounting book. We do these every Monday night. We're in the middle of a 12-week session right now. We're on going into week 7 or week 8 next week. I've lost count. But anyways, this is our giveaway right now. You are going to get the Ledger to Leadership book as our giveaway. So talking while you're selling, kind of doing all of that. Good evening, hello, is not as easy as it seems. But tonight I noticed quite a few of the participants were like, you know what, let's just spend some time and talk to each other. And so they talked at the beginning, and then they moved into the selling, and I loved it. I'm like, look at this. They're thinking about, how do I make this work? How do I do this? And these are all the skills that we learn as live sellers as we go from show to show to show, but we only learn it when a lot of it doesn't come naturally. We have to stop and think through things. Like, we have to stop and say, how do I make my show better? We have to rewatch our shows, right? We have to look at all these little pieces. What do I say in my opening? What do I say when I close? What do I say when the raids come in? How do I transition from my opening to my selling? That's always not a really easy task to do either, right? Transitioning from the opening to the selling. And then from the selling maybe to a story, maybe a break in the middle. And then structuring your shows. The other thing I saw tonight amongst pretty much every single participant was a theme. And whether that be a pricing theme or a theme in Hibiscus House did a theme of at home, what makes it feel like at home, the warming and fuzzy feelings of what makes you think of being at home. And so I love the themes. This is a good way when you have a theme to keep the kind of that story woven throughout all of your selling. It helps with the talking and the selling and that entertainment value. Now you're kind of tying this together. You're not just selling. You're not just showing up going, okay, check this red pen out. Cool. All right, check this out. Now there's a reason. People want to hear, well, what's next? What's the next part of that story? It's like watching a movie or reading a book. What is the next page when you turn it? What's going to happen now, right? Don't be scared, Miss Jen. We can all learn so much, and not just how we're selling, what we're talking about, but what does our lighting look like? Where is our camera? You would be surprised if you want, I'm not talking to anybody in particular, I'm talking to everybody as a crowd, that if you rewatch your shows, how many times our items are hidden by the chat? And we don't realize it because we don't see that on this side.
So, Mel, I'm gonna have to work on a broken heart animation, but here we go. So, Miss Jen, you were saying something about how is the camera placement. If you rewatch your shows, you can actually see what is it that is happening on your show, and you can have a better understanding on what can be improved. And that's as far as I go. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, his one very quick appearance there, one and only appearance. So there's just things that we don't think about when we're selling, because let's face it, there is a 50 million thoughts going through your head when you're selling. And some of those things that we need to pay attention to, we don't realize it when we're in the moment. I'm so thankful I have somebody else, and some of you have somebody else who's like, hey, you didn't think about this, check this out. You know, I have a person here sitting right there who tells me all the stuff that I need to fix, right? But not everybody has that. And the only way to get that is to rewatch your shows. And if hearing your voice bothers you, mute it. Get used to just watching yourself first. Mute your show. It's okay. Turn that volume way down and just focus on, okay, what does it look like? How am I moving? Is my back to the camera too much? How's my lighting? Like, just focus on that. And then once you're used to seeing yourself, start turning the volume up and start listening. It doesn't have to be all at once. You can take it in baby steps. Nobody says you can't do that, right?
Correct. They don't show the chat when you do the replay, unless you can have a secondary device that you can sign into and then use the feature, for example, on an iPad, that you can do the screen record, and you can record the entire screen. It's going to take a lot of space on your device, so just keep an eye on that.
I've heard a lot of people talking about using screen record lately. So I've heard a lot of other sellers saying this is how that they're able to see the chat and kind of, it also helps you like see the chat. Was I responsive to the chat? How long did it take me when somebody requested something for me to answer or to make a comment? Thrifty Educator, congratulations. You have got a Ledger to Leadership, a book. It is a 12-chapter book. This is all about accounting for resellers. We do this show every Monday at 6:30 p.m. on Whatnot, but it is also, everything is multicast to YouTube, so you can always go back and do it. This book, too, you guys, just so you know, this is not the only Ledger to Leadership we are doing. We are running a 12-week series. We're going to take a little break, and we will be back again with another 12-week. This is something I'm going to be doing a couple times a year, so this book will still be good next time we do it also.
To answer your question, Forgotten Me Not Antiques, no, it doesn't. It does not show the chat. So it's the same thing as on YouTube. You're just going to get a QR code for people that are watching not on Whatnot to join the show. So no, it doesn't show the chat.
All right. So let's just wrap this up. I want to tell you, so our next CEO Challenge Showcase, we're taking a break. It's going to be May 5th is our finale night. So have we already dropped into this week's challenge into the drop boxes yet? Okay, so for the participants, for the 6 of you, the week 4 challenge is in your Dropbox. And if you are at home and you're like, hey, this is really cool, how do I follow along? You can DM me an email address. We have a at-home version of the challenge. And what we'll do is we'll give you access to a Dropbox where we put the challenges in each week. And then you can have access to all 4. We've just dropped, yes, you're not on till May 4th, or May 5th, sorry. So you can DM me if you want to follow along at home. We'll give you access to the at-home versions of the challenge. And May 5th, so the reason why, there's a couple reasons why we have a 2-week break, why we're taking one. I also co-host a raid train on Tuesday nights with CG Boomerang Echo called the Bake Kahunas, and we do that the last Tuesday of every month, so that is next week. Also, this last challenge is more about wrapping up the month. So our sellers now get 2 final weeks to perfect everything, kind of really just keep practicing and to get a little more of their statistics. They need to look at those metrics that they started with at the very first week and get some final numbers. And they're going to come to you with a 30-minute spot. It's the other thing, if you guys haven't seen it yet, 30-minute spots for them next time. So they can actually spend a little bit of time talking to you and sell a couple things if they feel like selling. If they don't feel like selling, they don't have to. Totally their call for the next show. So that's what's going to happen on May 5th. It's going to be our big finale. I will be ending it, and our giveaway that night, you guys do not want to miss it. I've been building up every week. I give away something that kind of ties to the CEO brand. The final one is going to be a really big giveaway, so you don't want to miss that on the very, very last part of May 5th. So with that, we're going to go raid. We're going to go see I Love Discounts. And before I go, all of the 6 participants, I see most of them here. Let's see, almost all of them. Let's see. Miss Jen Hen, Mel and Stella Cards, Forgotten Memories, On Second Thought, Lori Can Shop. Who are we missing? Who am I missing? Hibiscus House is the only one. So almost all of them, thank you. Almost all of them are right there at the bottom of the chat. Go ahead and give them a follow. Check out their shows these next 2 weeks if you haven't. They kind of all different categories. So I've learned something from every single one of them. I've learned about their products, just their items. Y'all, follow them, check them out, go support them in their shows, and then be here May 5th for the final CEO Challenge night of this first season. And with that, we're going to go see I Love Discounts. They are doing sterling silver jewelry at dollar starts. Can't get any better than that. Let's go check them out.
That's right. Let's get some chubby bucks. Thank you, Mel. Ducks in the chat, please.
Thank you. Yes, ducks in the chat. Thanks for reminding me. Ducks in the chat when we get there. Night, everybody.